Why am I going to talk about marital conflict? I'm not a psychologist or a marriage counselor. I am a professional astrologer. Then, why should I talk about marital conflicts? Can astrology help? Does it have a remedy? Can astrology prevent it? Our ancestors brought this science to life so that you can use it in your lives to live happily. But having this ancient science and still not knowing its usage or benefits is a shame. I believe the least I can do is let you know the capability of this science and let you decide if you should utilize it or help your friend or a family member. Namaskaraha, I am Archana, a professional astrologer. Coming to today's topic, astrology for marital conflicts. Conflicts could arise due to many reasons, due to behavioral issues, communication breakdown, emotional disconnect, financial strain, difference in value systems, extramarital affairs, loss of respect, taken for granted attitude. These lead to significant emotional and psychological strain. In this episode, I want to address one such issue and speak through the lens of astrology. Let me pick the less comfortable topic, extramarital affairs. A horoscope can give an insight if the person has the tendency to go outside the institution of marriage, if he or she can get swayed, or if that person has secret love affairs. A few areas in horoscope can help identify this. Which house should we look at? Which grahas may denote this? When in your life may lead to this. Let's look at the first area. The 12 houses can provide a good understanding of a person. Let's take 4th house for instance. 4th house tells a person's character and if he or she seeks happiness from home or seeks happiness outside home. How can we find this? If 4th house has a malefic graha influence, then that person tends to find happiness outside home. For instance, in this horoscope, the person likes to seek happiness outside home as he feels the lack of sukha in domestic life. And of course, 7th house, the marital house. We can find out if the marriage is weak or strong, or if the spouse or partner is secretive. Take a look at this horoscope. This person has a spouse who is detached and has a secret life which she got to know much later in the marriage. Most importantly, 12th house. 12th house is the house of physical intimacy. Yep, that has been identified by our sages. 12th house is considered a bad house, Dusthana. Dusthana refers to houses in the horoscope that indicate challenges or difficulties. The 12th house is also a place that indicates moksha. So depending on the graha in this house, one can gauge if the person leans towards spirituality or succumb to lust-seeking pleasure outside marriage. For instance, in this horoscope, Venus, the karaka of lust, is in 12th house. This person is highly susceptible to extramarital affairs. And on top of that, if Mangala aspects it, even high chances of secret love affairs. So yes, this is just one such indication. But if Guru aspects 12th house, then even if one has the tendency, something or someone always keeps the person in check and will hold him or her back from succumbing to their emotions. Take this horoscope for instance. Many grahas are in 12th, which means less intimacy. But due to Guru's aspect, this person, instead of focusing on physical pleasure, has moved the attention to spirituality. Remember, I told you 12th is also the house for moksha. It's a thin line and depending on the grahas and your brought up and your education and your exposure to good circle of friends and people, you could cross this line, succumbing to your pleasures, or could hold back to respect the norms of the society. My aim here is not to label or judge anyone, but to provide insights that can lead to awareness and positive changes. Through JyotishShastram, you can find ways to address challenges, understand yourselves better, and take steps towards a harmonious life. Now, how can astrology help, you ask? It can help you to identify either before getting married or be aware of your own tendencies after marriage. So as we have seen, the 4th house highlights where you seek happiness, the 7th house reveals the strength of your marriage, and the 12th house uncovers your tendencies towards physical intimacy or spirituality. Now that I've covered the role of these houses, let's dive into the planets or grahas that can influence these tendencies. Which graha denotes this? Which graha indicates extramarital affair? Usually, malefic grahas indicate this. For instance, Mangala with Shukra indicate love interest. Of course, this is not necessarily infidelity, right? It could indicate that you fell in love and found your ideal partner. But if it is in Dusthana, then that's when you need to sit up and notice. Similarly, Rahu in a Dusthana is another indication. So grahas like Shukra, Mangala and Rahu can reveal love interest, secret love affairs or tendencies towards infidelity, especially when they influence houses like the 12th or are positioned in Dusthanas. But timing is just as important as these placements. Let's now see how specific dashas or planetary periods can lead to certain decisions at different stages of life. When in one's life may lead to this. Now, timing is everything in astrology. You may have a strong horoscope, but moments in your life could lead to slip-ups like this. I'm sure you know of such a person in life who would have surprised you, who was extremely righteous, whom you thought was the ideal person, great job, great family, everything going very well, but you hear of a rumor that he is cheating on his wife. This infamous situation could be due to the timing and the dasha that could have tempted him. Of course, it was his choice, but in astrology, there are dashas that can make you take the wrong step. Dasha is a planetary period that influences your life. This is based on the ruling graha during that time. For instance, Rahu Dasha. If Rahu is positioned in the Dusthana, it could make a person face allegations. Even the dreaded Ketu Dasha could cause it. For instance, this person succumbed to carnal pleasure and cheated on his wife even when everything was going perfect in his life. This got him into an estranged situation with his child, which he regrets to this day. So even if someone has a strong horoscope, a particular dasha or planetary period can trigger challenges or temptations. But here's the good news. JyotishShastram not only reveals such tendencies but also equips you with remedies to navigate these periods wisely. Let's talk about how astrology can help prevent or mitigate such situations. Now these were a few instances I've brought to light where astrology as a science was able to identify. How can you prevent these, you may ask? Is this Runanubandham? Is it fate? This is where I differ. Your past karmas or pura punya may tell you or make you go to an astrologer to analyze your horoscope and match it with your fiancé's. This could reveal issues and you will receive remedies to perform before marriage to mitigate problems. What about after marriage? Even after marriage, when you get your horoscopes analyzed, you may be provided time periods to be careful and to avoid taking wrong decisions. And remedies such as homas, gemstones, daily rituals will be advised to you so that you don't necessarily regret your decisions later in life. By the way, it's important to remember that while your horoscope may indicate tendencies or patterns, how you respond to these tendencies is entirely in your hands. Astrology is a tool to guide and empower you, not to dictate your fate. Your choices, your values and your efforts ultimately determine the path you take. Hopefully that gives you an idea of how JyotishShastram can be a guiding science in your life. As I wrap up, let me emphasize, while astrology offers valuable insights, it's your awareness and actions that ultimately shape your destiny. I believe if there is a problem, there is a solution. If there is a conflict, there is a resolution. I hope you lean on to this ancient science and use it to your advantage to make your life better. If this topic resonates with you or someone you know, consider getting a detailed horoscope analysis to uncover insights and find remedies that can strengthen relationships. Also, if you are curious about how JyotishShastram can help in other areas of life, subscribe to my channel Astroscience. By subscribing, you will stay updated with more videos on Vedic astrology, practical remedies, and how it applies to modern life. And if you found this helpful, share it with someone who might benefit from it. Your support helps spread awareness about this ancient science. And if you would like to know how astrology can help you with your decision making, watch this video. Dhanyavadaha.